strain it in. Let's see if there's enough room in there.
Just barely.
So let me don my grog log fez and give these things a shot. Now on to the Beachcomber's Gold.
Wait!
Hey, what are you doing? We're trying to film a show here.
It's me! It's you! It's us! I'm you! From the future!
The future? Is there flying cars and self-lacing shoes?
What? Oh! I'm you! 3 weeks from now!
3 weeks? Oh God, what happened?
It's the drink, David! It's too dry! Something's gotta be done about the recipe! Look what happens!
Recipes pulled into question? Reputation at stake? This is heavy.
Precisely! It starts a chain reaction that ruins the reputation of Don the Beachcomber for all eternity. But you have a chance to stop it.
What do I do?
You've got to go back. Use the original recipe. Redeem the recipe. Undo the ruination of Don's legacy.
Well, I guess we better go back to the original recipe. So in our last episode, we made 2 classic recipes from the Chicago Don the Beachcombers, one of which has a reputation for being fairly universally hated, the Beachcomber's Gold. Now, as someone who first had this drink in the past, in 2013, and then again more recently, in the present, I was amazed to find that even with my drier old man palate, I'm an old man! I still found the drink to be pretty ashy, flavorless, and frankly, it is still pretty terrible. But we also mentioned how this specific recipe was a 1970s remix edition, with the original one coming from the Hollywood Don the Beachcombers, invented all the way back in 1937. Also, it's a little weird to me that these recipes have almost nothing in common despite sharing the same name. So we figured in an attempt to redeem the reputation of this cocktail, we're gonna go back in time to the original recipe and see how it stacks up. So let's take a look at what's actually in that 1937 recipe. It's going to be lime, almond extract, simple syrup, Pernod or absinthe, and then 3 kinds of rum. I would imagine just from that lineup that it's going to have a far more full-bodied flavor and a very complex nose on it as well. All right, let's start with the ½ ounce of lime, ½ ounce of simple syrup, 6 drops of Pernod or absinthe. Now you can use either one, but just to match the recipe that we made last time, we're going to use Pernod. 4 drops of almond extract. Be careful with this stuff, packs a punch. All right, now onto the fun stuff. We're gonna do an ounce of gold Puerto Rican rum. We're actually gonna use Bacardi 8 in this case. Stuff's good. A mere ¼ ounce of Dark Jamaican rum. We're using Lost Spirits. And finally, a ¼ ounce of Gold Jamaican rum. Now, I'm using Dr. Bird, which of course packs a very serious nose on it. And it might interfere with the flavor a little bit, but I'm willing to take that chance. Stuff's good too. All right, let's pour this into our shaker. Add a couple ice cubes to chill as we shake. Dilute the drink just a little bit. Also just sounds cool. We're gonna serve this in a coupe glass. Now, normally we would do an ice shelf as we did in the last episode, but in lieu of that, we're just gonna do a little bit of crushed ice in there. A little bit. Now, let's just strain it in. Perfect. Perfect. Now, for direct comparison's sake, we've actually made a tiny version of the Beachcomber's Gold from last episode so we can see how they stack up. So before we try the Ultra Classic, let's try this guy one more time. It's still pretty bad. It really does taste like you're drinking out of an ashtray. It's pretty flat and flavorless and, you know, there's really not much to it. It's yikes. All right, here we go. The moment of truth. Classic Beachcomber's Gold. Yeah, so it's not as full-bodied as I thought it was going to be, but it is definitely way more palatable than the Chicago Beachcomber's Gold. Let me take another sip. Ooh, wow, yeah. On the second sip, I'm definitely getting a lot more of the funkiness in there. The Dr. Bird comes through, you get a little bit of the Pernod, and some of the complexity of those rums. So it gets even better with time, as opposed to this one, which gets worse. Well, there we go. I would consider the reputation of this classic Don's recipe officially redeemed. Thanks for joining us on this time-traveling journey through these recipes. If you like this episode, please consider giving us a like and subscribing so you don't miss out on future recipes and tiki adventures. And until then, cheers. Still not you.
Great Scott! It worked!